Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I'm going over my favorite Super Bowl matchups for every team in the playoffs. So basically what I did was I took all the playoff teams, and I made one matchup for them. So I have 7 different matchups, and I have 7 different AFC and NFC teams. The only team that I have in here that isn't currently in the playoffs is the Ravens. I replaced the Browns with the Ravens because I believe the Browns will go 10-6. And the Ravens will either go 10-6 or 11-5 with a tiebreaker over the Browns. So I currently have the Ravens in as the 7th seed in the AFC, and I made a list of my favorite Super Bowl matchups for the 2020-2021 NFL Super Bowl. Now, I know that these are not all likely to happen because most of these teams are very unlikely to make the Super Bowl. But this is a very hypothetical video, and it's just a fun video for me to make because it's a fun opinion I can share because I enjoy sharing my opinions with you guys, and I think that it's fun to talk about my favorite Super Bowl projections and what teams I think would have really interesting matchups. So before we get into the video, I just like to say that although the number is going up, only 10% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to the channel. So if you enjoy my content and you want to see more content like it, make sure to subscribe. It really helps a whole lot, and the more of you who subscribe, the better. So thank you all so much for watching my content. I really appreciate it. Let's get right into the video. So my first Super Bowl matchup that I have is Saints versus the Raiders. The Saints and the Raiders played earlier this season. I think that the rematch would be a very interesting Super Bowl combination. They played at the beginning of the season when the Saints weren't as strong as they are now. They had just lost Michael Thomas. They were still getting into the groove of the season. They lost to the Raiders and the Packers very early on in the season. And as the season progressed, the Saints team got stronger and stronger and stronger. Now they're on, I believe, a 7 or 8 game winning streak. And I think that seeing a rematch between these two teams will be very interesting in Super Bowl. The Saints are going to want revenge. They're going to want to show, well, not revenge, but they're going to want to show they're a stronger team than the Raiders. And the Raiders are going to want to prove everyone wrong that said that they weren't as strong as they actually are. They've had a very hard schedule, and I don't think they are a 6-4 team. So I think that the Raiders and the Saints both have something to prove in this type of a Super Bowl. It'd be a very interesting rematch type game. And I'm not really into rematch Super Bowls because I've already seen the matchup, but teams play out very differently in the playoffs than they do in the regular season. So I think this would be a very interesting matchup. Next on the list we have Colts versus Washington. I have this as an interesting matchup because Phillip Rivers and Alex Smith. They both had very interesting careers. And yes, I understand Washington is not making the Super Bowl. But Phillip Rivers and Alex Smith both have had very interesting careers, and neither of them have made it to a Super Bowl before. I think that a Super Bowl matchup between these two would be very interesting because they'd both be, one of them's going to get a Super Bowl win out of it, which I would love to see either of these two quarterbacks get a Super Bowl win. They both deserve it, and they both had very strong careers, even if Alex Smith's stats haven't been the best they could be. But either way, both of these quarterbacks are strong quarterbacks. They've been in the league a long time, and they'd have a very good game against each other, I believe. So this is my second choice for favorite Super Bowl matchups. My third choice is the Rams against the Ravens. And this is an interesting matchup because it's Lamar Jackson versus Jared Goff. Two very young, promising quarterbacks. Jared Goff has only had one bad season. It was before Sean McVay became quarterback, and he's already made it to a Super Bowl. Versus Lamar Jackson, who started off his career 20-3, and although his season, or 20-2 or something like that, although his season last year ended abruptly with a bad playoff performance, and this season hasn't been going to plan either, especially now with Lamar getting the coronavirus. I think that this would be a very interesting game to watch. I don't see the Ravens making it to the playoffs because of Lamar's playoff record. But I think that it would be a very interesting game if he did. And these two quarterbacks would definitely be at it. They'd have a very strong game against each other. They're both very young. And I think that this will be a very interesting rivalry to see in the future for whenever these two teams play each other when it's Jared Goff against Lamar Jackson. Coming up next, we have Titans-Cardinals. The Titans and the Cardinals are both very strong teams this year. And the reason why I have these two against each other is because of their running games. Ryan Tannehill is a very strong quarterback that also will take off if he's able to. And Derrick Henry is one of the strongest running backs in the league, if not the strongest, second only to Dalvin Cook. On the other side of the football, you have Kenyon Drake, who's had a phenomenal season, paired with Kyler Murray, who has doing as good as a quarterback running the football as some of the running backs in the league. Actually, most of the running backs. He has the second most touchdowns in the league on the ground. And both of these teams have phenomenal teams. They both have very mediocre defenses. They're not the best defenses in the world, but they're okay defenses. They both have very strong quarterbacks. They both have very strong running games. I think that these two teams complement each other well, and I think that it would be a very interesting back and forth Super Bowl to watch. Next on the list, I have Bills against the Buccaneers. And the reason why I have this one on here is because it's Tom Brady versus the Bills. It would basically be like an it would be like a divisional game for Tom Brady, basically. He would be against his old divisional buddy, the Bills, and it would be in the Super Bowl. And that doesn't usually happen a lot in the NFL, and I think that would be a very interesting scenario for the Buccaneers and the Bills to be in. And it would give the Bills a chance to redeem themselves and get a win instead of having 5 losses. But it'll also give Tom Brady a chance to get a 7th Super Bowl. So I think that this matchup would be very high stakes. It would be a very high stakes Super Bowl matchup between both of these teams. And I think that the fact that it would be so high stakes and it would be so much history for both of these teams, for Brady and for the Bills, that I think it would brew a very good game between the two of them. Moving on, we have the Steelers against the Packers. And I really like this matchup because it's a previous Super Bowl matchup that we've already seen. We saw this Super Bowl matchup a very long time ago for Super Bowl 45, which was about 10 years ago now. It was Ben Roethlisberger versus Aaron Rodgers, and I think that for the 10-year anniversary of Aaron Rodgers beating Ben Roethlisberger, I would love to see another matchup between these two. Ben Roethlisberger has been to 3 Super Bowls. He's won 2 of them. Aaron Rodgers has been to 1 Super Bowl, and he won it. And it would be great to see both of these quarterbacks get one more shot at a championship before they each retire. Both of them are getting very old, and they're getting close to the end of their career, so it would be fun to not only see each of them get a chance to get another Super Bowl victory, but to watch them do it against each other. Ben has had a very successful career, so has Aaron Rodgers. They both had a lot of very strong seasons as quarterbacks, and it would be really great to see them finish off their careers. Not like this won't be the last season of either of their careers, but it'd be cool to see them face off one more time in the highest stakes game of the season. And my favorite Super Bowl matchup this season is the Chiefs against the Seahawks. Kansas City and Seattle have both had phenomenal teams this year. Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson are 2 of the highest winning percentage quarterbacks in NFL history. Russell Wilson just passed Peyton Manning for the most wins in the first 9 seasons of a career, and Patrick Mahomes in his first 4 seasons currently has 80% winning percentage, which is very hard to sustain over that period of time. Both of these quarterbacks have played phenomenally this year, as well as every year so far that they've been playing. And I would love to see a matchup between Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. Russell Wilson's been throwing some deep bombs this season. He has the most explosive passing offense in the league, but their defense is not very strong against the passing game. And I think that we could see possibly one of, if not the most highest scoring Super Bowls in NFL history. There would be some good defensive plays because although the Seahawks have a bad yardage defense, they have made some good plays. And Kansas City will be making some good plays too because Russell Wilson has not been perfect this year. But I think this would be a very interesting matchup to watch. I think it would be really enjoyable to see these two teams face off. I think that it would be the most fun Super Bowl matchup that we could possibly come up with. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like down below if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Remember, only 10% of you are actually subscribed, so if you want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe. I make new videos almost every day, and tonight is going to be Week 13 Power Ranking. So if you guys are down for seeing that, make sure to check that out tonight or tomorrow. And we are getting so close to 500 subscribers. We're just 68 away. So if you could subscribe, that would be incredible. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Make sure to let me know what types of videos you want to see in the future. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.